10 NFL seasons with the Colts, the Titans, the Jets, the Falcons, and the Panthers. And before that, he was one of the leaders of the 2002 national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. This past fall, he joined the broadcasting world. He's on ESPN Radio, and now he's talking to us at the breakfast table. Guys, one of the most well-liked guys around the league. Let's have a Good Morning Football welcome to Ben Hartsock.
Oh, hi, Ben. All right. Good morning.
Yeah, again, I always like the underdog.
Of course.
I love those kinds of guys. You know, he's a unicyclist.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
unicyclist.
Already our favorite.
Yeah, I love.
I'm in.
I love guys like that. But I love the examples of guys that play nine-man football. Dallas Clark, the former Colt, was a similar guy in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. The biggest question I have is that transition to the next level. Yeah. You know, can they handle? It's the same concern I have about Josh Allen, the quarterback. You know, to play at a small school, yes, you're dominant at that level, but can you transition to the white-hot lights of the NFL?
Good point.
Tall order. It comes down to this. You have to simplify it. You're either going to take one of the four quarterbacks or you're going to take Saquon Barkley. And here's the reality with the four quarterbacks. Let's say they're all elite talents, maybe even generational type talents. Arguably the two top ones, Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield, they have some real credible character issues.
I think the coach that has confidence a lot of times can keep the pressure on, even in times of uncertainty. If you know we're going to go with this no matter what, I think it keeps that defensive coordinator on his heels, not allowing him to tee up his best defense. You never know in moments like this. This is a nondescript moment going into halftime, but you wait, this is going to play big into the second half.
Well, the biggest thing with social media is for players today, you don't have to have a network behind you to be able to get your message out there. If you have a perspective, if you have content that you want to get out there, social media is your platform. And there have been examples of lots of guys that have a large social media presence doing whatever perspective they have that then leverage that into a radio situation, that leverage that into a network gig. So there's opportunities out there. You don't have to wait to get plucked by a network.
Last season, the NFL modified the replay system with direct communication from the referee to the NFL's officiating headquarters. The final decision as to whether a play stood or was reversed fell to an officiating supervisor in New York. The referee and the replay official at the game still had access to view the replay footage and could provide input, but the final call was ultimately made far from the playing field.
I remember so vividly the experience of that first day of the draft and back when we played, the first 3 rounds were the first night. I wasn't really expected to go as high as I ended up going. So I was in my tiny apartment, you know, apartment so small that you can vacuum the whole thing and never have to unplug. And I was working on a term paper. I hadn't graduated yet. And you get that phone call. It's such a human experience to have the hair stand on the back of your neck, stand up. You pick up the phone and it's Tony Dungy.
Well, I think with rookie quarterbacks, there's never any benefit to starting them right away. But the reality of the NFL that we live in today is the fact that coaches have a shorter leash than they've ever had before. Tom Sula fired after 1 year. Rob Chunzinski fired after 1 year. Mike Mularkey fired after 1 season. So the benefit of a rookie quarterback that would have that redshirt season, I was redshirted as a freshman at Ohio State, and it was wildly impactful to me as a young developing athlete to learn what it took to become a Division I athlete, to study at the collegiate level, to prepare at the collegiate level. Well, take that and then take it to the NFL level, and it is several orders of magnitude higher in its impact.
And the way this game has started, I think we all have to be a little bit surprised. The New England Patriots are notorious front runners. We're all wondering how Philadelphia is going to handle it, and credit to them early in this game. You can't overstate the importance of this drive right here. We mentioned it before the commercial break. The Philadelphia Eagles have to stay in phase. Right now they have done such a good job up to this point of playing the front runner, and they need to continue to do that. If they get out of phase, if they give Tom Brady too much time here at the end of the half, if they don't convert on this drive, it's not going to be a stretch to see New England put more points on the board before half.
But you look at what happened with Nathan Peterman with the Buffalo Bills. He went in and was forced into starting action. He had a higher quarterback rating for the opposing team than he did for the Buffalo Bills that season. That can be a fork in the road in a young player's career to where he could never recover.
You may be a small-town kid from Ohio like I was, maybe going to California, maybe going to Minnesota. You know, all these different places. It's very rare in a young person's life where at one phone call, your whole life changes.